Hi, hello, good evening, and welcome to another section. Welcome you all to study with me. It's Vidya. Today we'll be dealing with the third topic of the chapter Electricity and Circuit from grade 10. So the chapter topic is Ohm's Law. So we are going to deal with what do you mean by Ohm's Law. So Ohm's Law states that the potential difference across any points in a circuit will be directly proportional to the current flowing in the circuit. Okay, so Ohm's law states that the potential difference will be directly proportional to the current flowing in the circuit. So we know that in order to remove this proportionality sign, we have to multiply it with a constant. Okay, so here we are multiplying with a constant called as R. Okay, where R is the resistance. Okay, where R is the resistance. So by Ohm's law we can write V is equal to I into R. V is equal to I into R, and this is what is called as the Ohm's law. That means the potential difference V is equal to the product of current and the resistance value. Potential difference V is equal to I into R. This is what is called as Ohm's law. Okay. So when we say about Ohm's law, we'll draw a graph. So the graph is called as VI graph. So in the x-axis, we will mark the current, and in the y-axis, we will mark the potential difference, or what is called as the voltage. Okay, in the x-axis we'll mark the current and the y-axis will mark the voltage. So when we draw a graph, we will get a linear graph. That means as the value of current increases, the potential difference also increases. Or you can say that as the value of potential difference increases, the value of current also increases. So VI graph, this graph is called as VI graph. Okay, so VI graph is always a linear graph. VI graph will be always linear. Linear means as the value of potential difference increases, the value of current also increases. So this is what is called as Ohm's law. So Ohm's law states that the potential difference is directly proportional to the current, or we can say that V is equal to I into R. This is the equation for finding the voltage across a circuit. So from this equation, V is equal to I into R. How can we write the value for I? We can write I is equal to V by R. Okay, we can find out the value of current. I is equal to V by R, where I is the current. Okay, I is the current, V is the potential difference or the voltage, and R is the resistance value. R is the resistance value. Now let us see what we mean by resistance. So we know that V is equal to I into R, and we heard about a term called as resistance, right? So what exactly is resistance? Okay, so we will represent a resistor by this. This is a symbol of a resistor. We'll mark it as R. So what this resistance do is that it will oppose the flow of current. The resistance will always oppose the flow of current. What do you mean by opposing? Opposing means it blocks. Okay, so the resistance means the property by which the current is blocked. Okay, or it retards or decreases the flow of current is called as resistance. Okay, and the SI unit of resistance, SI unit of resistance is Ohm, OHM. Ohm is the SI unit of resistance, and the symbol will mark it like this. Okay, so resistance is a property which opposes the flow of current. So resistance are used to oppose or to block the flow of current, and the SI unit of resistance is Ohm. Okay, so this is a simple resistor. For smaller values, we will use resistors like this. So this is called as a resistor. Okay, so if we are doing any lab experiments where the value of resistors should be higher, we use a device called as rheostat. Okay, we use a device called as rheostat. This is what is called as a variable resistance. Okay, that means we can change the value of the resistance. Rheostat is a device which is used to where we can use variable values of resistance. So if we consider a single resistor, for example, this is 1 ohm resistor. Okay, so if we consider a rheostat, we can say 0 to 500 ohm. That means we can vary the value of resistance between 0 and 500, minimum and maximum position. But when we are taking a resistor alone, the 1 ohm is a fixed value. But when we are taking a rheostat, we can vary the value between the minimum and the maximum point. So this is a rheostat and this is a resistor. Now, the equation for finding the resistance, we have an equation R is equal to rho L divided by A. Okay, rho L divided by A, where R is the resistance. Okay, R is the resistance. L is the length of the conductor that we are considering. Okay, L is the length of the conductor that we are considering, and A is the area of cross section. A is the area of cross section, and this term rho, this is pronounced as rho, and that is the resistivity. Okay, that is called as resistivity. Resistivity means a property by which the flow of current is blocked, or the property of resistance is called as resistivity. So we can say that the value of a resistance, okay, the resistance value always depends upon the value of length of the conductor and area of cross section of the conductor. How is it related? R will be directly proportional to L. That since it is in the numerator, R is directly proportional to L. That means if the length of the conductor is higher, then the resistance value will also be higher. If the length is lower, resistance will also be lower. They are directly proportional. So when speaking about the area, they are inversely proportional. That means if the area is higher, resistance value will be lower. If the area is lower, resistance value will be higher. So these are the factors on which resistance of a material depends upon. Mainly it depends upon length and area, also the resistivity value, which is a constant. Resistivity is a constant value, so it depends upon the length and the area of cross section of the conductor. So it is directly proportional to length and inversely proportional to area of cross section of the conductor. Let us look into some of the major symbols that we use in a circuit diagram. So this is very important. Okay, so when first one is when we are drawing a cell, an electric cell. Okay, so electric cell, the symbol is we will draw a plus and a minus. Okay, so this is the positive terminal and this one is the negative terminal. This is a symbol for drawing a cell. Second one is a battery. So you might have studied that what is cell and what is a battery, no? So when we are combining two or more cells together, then it is called as a battery. So the symbol of battery will be like this. Okay. Okay, so we are considering a positive, negative, again a positive, negative, positive, negative, positive, negative. So this is how we can connect a battery. So one positive, negative, again positive, negative, positive, negative. It goes on. Okay, so battery is a combination of cells. We all know it, right? Now another one is plug, or we also call it as a key. Okay, plug or a key. So we'll use a simple plug key. Okay, we will use a symbol like this. Okay, so next one is a resistor. How to draw a resistor? Okay, so the symbol of resistor is, we have to draw like this. This is a symbol of a resistor and we mark it as capital R. Okay, now when we draw an ammeter, I already has drawn the circuit diagram with an ammeter. So whenever you are drawing an ammeter, you have to use a pro circle. Okay, so this is plus end and this is the minus end of an ammeter. Similarly, whenever we are drawing a voltmeter, okay, so we have to same plus minus, this is a symbol of a voltmeter. So these are some of the major symbols. So when we consider battery, don't need to get confused about the battery. So this is a positive, a negative, again a positive, a negative, again a positive, a negative. Okay, so this is battery, plus minus, plus minus, plus minus. So here this is a symbol of a cell. So battery means combination of more than one cell. So here we have 3 cells, right? Here we have 3 cells. So these are some of the important symbols you need to keep in mind when you are studying the chapter electricity. That is all for today's lecture. Like we have discussed what is Ohm's law. V is equal to I into R. The VI graph. How is the graph varying? The current varying with the variation in the potential difference. And we have studied what is the equation for Ohm's law. V is equal to I into R. And what is resistance and what are the important symbols that we use in a circuit diagram. So this is all for today. So please do subscribe the channel if you like my way of teaching, and please do give your valuable comments in the comment section. So see you soon in the next section. Till then, take care. Bye bye.